So, although Bear Grylls makes it look easy, surviving in the wild is definitely not as easy as you may think. There are many things that you have to be able to figure out along the way, and you have to be good at thinking on your feet. You have to know and understand what is going on around you at all times and what different kinds of things you can eat, drink, touch, etc. You have to know your surroundings and understand things like climate, maps, mountains, caves, things like that. A lot of things go into surviving, and I'm going to tell you some things that maybe Bear Grylls couldn't tell you on the television. The military is probably the best known example of knowing how to survive in the wild. We know how to adapt to our surroundings and learn how to figure things out for ourselves very quickly. We know our surroundings at all times and understand to pay close attention to detail, and these are attributes of knowing how to survive in any sort of situation or climate or anything that you may think of. It's how we're trained and how we are taught to live our life by, because you never know when you may need it when you're overseas or anything of the sort. Today I'm going to inform you how to survive in the wild and how the military does it. First, I'm going to give you a brief history on how the military has survived in wars around the world and when the time is called for it in any situation. And then I'm going to tell you some things that you may need to know, and some tools that you may need to see how we do it. So moving on to the history of military survival around the world. It goes back as far as 1775, the American Revolutionary War. This is where America first started making new soldiers have to adapt to a new territory and learn to survive in this newfound world that we have found. And they had claimed against fighting against the British for what was theirs. They had to adapt to every new thing thrown at them, such as new weapons, new climates, new animals, weather, diseases, things like that. In 1861, the Civil War came around, bringing handguns and artillery, forcing soldiers to adapt to have to survive to incoming raining fire from above, as well as fire from the front. This caused many different survival skills to be created, such as night shift guards, to help keep soldiers alive during the night and not be attacked during the night with mortars, stuff like that. In 1914, World War I came around, introducing a whole new kind of warfare called trench warfare, creating trenches and gases, new weapons, aircraft battles, planes, stuff like that. Soldiers had a difficult time adapting to the gases and trenches because nobody had the equipment to help them survive the chemical warfare. Trenches brought diseases and sickness due to inclement weather, creating mud, rats, bringing diseases, little food, little sleep, things that they just didn't know how to survive against. When World War II came around, America got involved in Pearl Harbor attack, and we quickly had to figure out how to survive against the Japanese kamikaze pilots. So Japanese would come in and kill themselves in their planes just to kill Americans and take down our resources. And we had to figure out how to adapt to make sure that as little people died as possible during these kamikaze attacks. In 1955, America got involved in the Vietnam War, and we had to learn to survive against the Viet Cong hiding in trees and bushes, and we had to figure out how to learn how to survive without dying and how to figure out how to go around stealth. They had newly added napalm bombs to take out entire forests and people and larger artillery strikes. We came up with a new thing that we now teach modern society soldiers in basic training called close quarter combat, because Viet Cong used to want to take out people one by one when they came close, and so we had to figure out how to fight them one-on-one. Moving on to the next thing is some things that you might need to know to survive in the wild, just in case. I know, like, not always that you would be out there and have to have the resources, but some things that we take out there to make sure that we know is we take a rucksack, and in this rucksack we have something called like an e-tool, which is a shovel to help build trenches and stuff, like a moat in case it rains at night and you can need to sleep, so you build a moat around where you sleep so water can get in that instead of drown you. We have 550 cord, which is like rope but stronger, holds 550 pounds. and so you can like string up stuff on trees. You can put your poncho up there so you don't get rained on at night and you have somewhere to sleep under. Just some different things. Have a separate pair of clothes, a map, a compass, things like that. Those are always something that you might need to use when you're out there in the wild. You don't get the choice, obviously, if you get stuck out there, but those are some things that we take out there, like overseas and stuff. We have all that inside of our rucksack with an extra change of clothes, and in basic, they teach us what kind of, like, where to drink water from, where to like what to eat out there in case we do it, in case we don't have any food, we need to find it, stuff like that. So, in conclusion, war has become a very good place for America to learn how to adapt to our surroundings and our climates and changes and different things like that. War is one of the best things in the military that has we have overcome all of our adaptations and we've learned everything from there to learn how to survive out there in the wild. Due to the military basically creating the basis behind surviving in the wild in modern day terms, all of the wars that we've been through and to be able to figure out what modern times have come, we can survive in today's wars and today's times and today's wilds. Sadly, though, times are consistently changing, so thus knowing what we know now, we know, and what we've learned in the past, we already know that the future is going to be much different and we'll have to adapt and change due to our past successes. Thank you.